Very serious. So if you believe in number one, he saved us by revealing his love, you don't understand the Bible. If you understand the Bible, you can say he revealed his love by saving us. Make sure you understand the difference. The first one is known as the moral influence theory. 11th and 12th century, there was a man called Abelard, a monk, a holy man, but like every holy man, he had his problems. And he begat a child out of wedlock, Heloise, he fell in love with. The indignant father of Heloise had Abelard emasculated, or to use a better known word, castrated. He remained an influential leader in religion for many years, and he formed the view that God saved us by revealing his love to us. This is the moral influence theory, that the cross was not a necessary event, but it is a revelation of God's love. So you're sitting on the wharf, the jetty, and I want to show you I love you, so I run past you saying I love you, jump in the water and drown. The Bible teaches very, very clearly that Christ was a sacrifice. Ephesians 5, verse 2. Many places it says that. What we've just read says 11 times, 11, not 2 or 5 or 7, 11 times, that this Messiah suffered because God put our sins upon him. You see, there are many ends that God has to accomplish. Sin is transgression, must be punished. Sin is guilt, must be expiated. Sin is ruin, there must be rebuilding. Sin is slavery, there must be freedom, and so on. So the cross has to fulfill all of these things. In the beginning, the warning was, the day you eat of it, you'll die. Now either God has to fulfill that threat, or the law loses its power, and God loses his authority. There had to be a Calvary. Moral influence theory is wrong. God whispers to you and me in our pleasures. He speaks to us in our conscience, but he shouts at us in our pains. And this chapter is all about pain. It says nothing about the holiness of the sufferer. It says nothing about the eloquence of the sufferer. It doesn't even say how loving he was. It just says he suffered. People get a lot more comfort out of this chapter than they do reading about the glories of heaven. We sipped the cup of pain, but he drained it to the dregs. The ancient Macedonian soldiers travelled by foot unbelievable miles because their king walked with them, Alexander the Great. And this chapter says Christ knows our pains, and he has suffered infinitely more than we have. And this chapter is telling us that sin always brings pain, always brings loss. Sin always brings death. It's nothing we can toy with. All the things you and I take without the permission of God turn to worms, whether it's a person or a thing. Sin is a dreadful thing, and it's only at Calvary we see that. If you and I come to understand Calvary, we have the key to the Bible. This is the ground of our justification. How can God declare a sinner like me sinless? How can he accept me with all my faults, failings, infirmities, blunders, stumblings? My life is a stumbling from the cradle to the grave. How can he accept me? This chapter says, he took our sin, took our guilt. He paid the price for it. So important we understand this. Then we'll see that law cannot be scoffed at. You know, the New Testament is both for law and against it. The New Testament is against law, including all 10 commandments, as a method of being saved. You're not saved by being good, because we're not good enough. You know, if you say to me, Des, I'm going to America, can you recommend to me, you've lived over there a long time, can you recommend to me a real estate agent? Oh, I say, I've got just the man for you, he's 90% honest. Yeah. It's no good being 90% good. The law demands 100% good. So the New Testament's against law as a method. It's for as a standard. You know, every time your conscience and mine condemns us, it's just a whisper of judgment day. So the New Testament says, do we make void the law through faith? God forbid. We establish the law. The law is holy, the commandment holy, just and good. The law is spiritual. And yet the New Testament's against it. It says we're not under law but under grace. We are not under law as a way to the heart of God. We're not under law as a way to get to heaven. Most people in the Christian church who profess to know God and profess to serve him do the duties of the Christian life and try to form a right character in the hope that that will get them to heaven. That religion is worthless and pure drudgery. Most people have that religion. You can either serve God lovingly or legalistically. Most people serve him legalistically. It's drudgery. Paul says, I through the law died to the law that I might live to God. We've got to come to the end of trying to be good enough for God to accept. You come to God just as you are, warts and all. You may be crying out from a morass of filth, but you come to him just as you are. That's how the penitent thief came to him. And there's nothing he could do for the Lord. His hands were nailed, couldn't run any errands. His feet were nailed. See? So the Christian gospel is something that no one could have invented. It's one of the main evidences the Bible is true. No one could ever have thought this up. We don't believe a man should be justified without works. I won't employ a man who won't work. Why should God? No one could have invented this gospel. This man receiveth sinners. He's gone to be guest with him that's a sinner. All manner of sin and blasphemy shall be forgiven unto men. He or she that cometh to me, I'll in no wise cast out. This is the Christian gospel. Anything less is not the gospel. You don't have to be good to be saved. You do have to be saved to be good. And no one need remain a single moment longer unsaved, because the way is open.